Just 3 minutes left. On September 19, Archangel Michael is holding a $1 billion miracle check with your name on it. Act fast and open now, before it returns to heaven. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith, for the scrolls have been opened, and the appointed moment has come upon the earth like a whisper before the storm. September 19 is not just a date. It is a divine signature etched into the heavenly calendar, a portal written in gold across the eternal courts of God. In the hidden chambers of the throne room, a time-stamped miracle hovers, not for the many, but for the few. For those who walk not by sight, but by unwavering obedience. For those whose silence before God has thundered louder than their cries before men. For these, and only these, the Archangel Michael now stands poised, holding what no earthly hand could ever issue, a check from heaven's treasury, written in golden ink, sealed with divine intent, and bearing one name, your name. But hear this, beloved, the gates are closing. The sands of this appointed hour are slipping fast. Heaven is on the move, and only 3 minutes remain before the window closes, before the angels return, before the scroll is sealed again. This is not a metaphor. This is a moment. This is not poetic imagery. This is a prophetic announcement. And what you do in these final moments will determine what follows in the coming months. Archangel Michael has not come to play. He has come to deliver. With his sword drawn and wings ablaze, he stands between your now and your next. He does not bring a message for everyone, for not all are postured in stillness, not all are positioned in obedience, and not all are silent enough to hear. This word, this check, is not casual currency. It is a contract between heaven and the one who dared to believe even when no one else did. But let this ring loud in your spirit. Hesitation can kill what heaven has created. Delay can destroy what was destined. The check is yours, but only if you rise to claim it before it returns to the throne room sealed and unreleased. Heaven has issued a miracle. The courts are waiting, and you have just 3 minutes to step into alignment. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. Heaven is not quiet today. The courts are not still. And the scroll of divine wealth has been opened, marked by fire and sealed by blood. In this sacred moment, I, Archangel Michael, commander of the Lord's hosts, am dispatched on assignment. I come not with empty words, but with a scroll and a check, written by the very hand of God. I do not come for all, but for the one whose ears have not been deafened by doubt, whose heart has not been hardened by delay. I come for you. In the next 3 minutes, what you decide will echo in eternity. Do you hear the sound in the Spirit? It is not the sound of angels singing. It is the sound of an offer being made. A divine check, not made with ink and paper, but with eternal decree and kingdom provision. A check worth more than the economies of nations. A check written for restoration, for reversal, for reigniting every dormant destiny. And hear me clearly, it has your name on it. But I must speak plainly now, for the hour is late and the gate is narrow. If you blink, this moment will vanish. If you scroll away, the heavens will not wait. If you say later, the check will be sealed, returned to the throne, and reassigned to another. Yes, I said it, reassigned. For destiny waits for no man, and delay is the language of disobedience. This check is not currency. It is a confirmation. It confirms that what was taken shall be returned. It confirms that what was stolen shall be restored. It confirms that every loss, every betrayal, every season of hidden suffering was not punishment, it was positioning. You were not buried. You were planted. And now, the harvest is on the brink. You may ask, why would heaven prepare $1 billion miracle check in my name? Because you are not ordinary. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified by the silence of man. You are marked by the fingerprint of the divine. And when the world passed you over, heaven circled your name. This check is not charity, it is inheritance. You were always meant to receive it, but you had to be ready to hold it. And now you are. This is not a word for the curious. It is a word for the courageous. For those who will not reason with heaven but will respond. For those who will not argue with the timing but will align. This is not for the loud, the proud, or the distracted. It is for the one who understands that when Archangel Michael appears, he does not come without cause. In the core truths of glory, I have been authorized to bring you this document. The ink is still fresh. The seal is still warm. The angels are standing by to witness your response. And time is hanging by a thread. In just moments, this miracle check will either be delivered, or it will be returned to the vault of the throne. You must ask yourself, will I be the one who moved in time, or the one who missed the moment? Because once the clock strikes, and the gate closes, this divine check will vanish into the realm of what could have been. I am Michael. I do not speak idle words. I speak as heaven commands. And I speak to you. Will you act in the next 3 minutes, or will this slip from your hands forever? Type I am anointed in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1122 is now activated. There are eyes watching you right now. Not all of them are seen. Some are near, some are far, and some hide behind laughter and shallow conversation. There are whispers behind closed doors. There are murmurs in unseen rooms. They say things like, nothing ever changes for her, or he's still stuck in the same place. They doubt. They speculate. They wonder. But what they do not see, what they cannot see, is the divine check with your name engraved on it in heaven's treasury. They look at your current state, but they are blind to your heavenly status. They see your struggle, but they cannot read the decree that has been written over your life. The check that Archangel Michael now holds is the evidence of that decree. It is not for public display. It is a secret scroll for a select soul, and that soul is you. And yet, distractions swarm like bees stirred from a hive. Your phone lights up. Your mind races. Your attention drifts. Why? Because every demonic force, every jealous spirit, every familiar power knows this truth. If you lock in right now, you will receive what they can never steal. The enemy does not fear your past. He fears what's being written over your next. And this check, this holy document, is evidence of that future. It is not merely about money. It is about mantle. This check contains clearance for movement. It holds the instruction for relocation. It carries your name into rooms you've never stepped into, yet were always destined to own. Why now? Why September 19? Why your name? Because this is the moment when heaven's calendar and your obedience collide. The silence you've endured was not absence. It was divine construction. Every delay was an angel at work. Every tear was collected in heaven's bottle. And now the scroll has opened. A check has been written. Archangel Michael is standing. Do not be deceived. The enemy wants you to scroll past this moment. He wants you to think this is just another video, another word, another whisper in the wind. But this is not another voice. This is the voice sent to shake you awake before the gates close. Even now, spiritual interference rises. The enemy would rather you respond to a text than respond to heaven. He would rather you laugh off this message than fall to your knees and cry out, "I receive." But I tell you again, if you look away, the check will not wait. If you pause, the gate will close. If you hesitate, the scroll will roll up and return to the heavens sealed with your name still unread. And those who whispered will never know what nearly came into your hands. They will never understand why your name was on the check. They will never comprehend the scroll of favor hovering over your life. But you were meant to receive it. Now is not the time to fight distractions. Now is the time to silence them. You must be still. You must lock in. You must lift your hands in full surrender and say, "God, I receive what bears my name." Because no enemy, no gossip, no fear, no delay can override the scroll that heaven has already written. But only you can sign for what has already been sealed. Type "I receive what's mine" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1616 has been released upon you. If this word is stirring something in your spirit, it's not just for inspiration. It's a divine activation. You are standing in a moment where the heavens are wide open, and sowing into this atmosphere is like writing your own name into the scroll of obedience. Heaven multiplies every seed sown into the spreading of its truth, because souls are touched, awakened, and rescued through these messages. I feel this in my spirit. Those who give into this moment will see rivers of provision and restoration unlock. This is not charity, it is covenant. As you partner with this message through Super Thanks, YouTube membership, or the PayPal link below in the video description, you're not just helping, you're activating your part in the wealth transfer heaven has already begun. God said, "Test me in this and see if I will not open the windows of heaven," Malachi 3:10. And right now, those windows are open. So with expectation, move with conviction, partner with heaven, and unlock the blessing that's already chasing you. Do it now, not later, not someday. Now, obedience has a time limit. Let it be known and written, the battle that surrounds you is not born of coincidence. It is not random, and it is not small. The chaos you have faced, the delays that have exhausted you, and the confusion that's tried to cloud your mind, these are not earthly in nature. They are spiritual in origin. For the enemy has caught wind of what heaven has released. He has sensed the movement of angels, the shifting of thrones, and the release of scrolls carrying your name. The moment Archangel Michael rose to deliver your miracle check, the gates of hell began to tremble. The warfare you felt in your body, in your finances, in your mind, it was not punishment. It was proof. Proof that you have been chosen. Proof that what is coming is so heavy, so holy, so high-ranking, that hell itself had to intervene to try and confuse your path before you laid hold of it. But hear this, No war comes where there is no wealth. And no battle comes where there is no birth. The presence of conflict is not the evidence of God's absence. It is the very sign that something is being delivered from heaven's throne directly into your hands. That check, the billion-dollar miracle document, is not just about financial overflow. No. It is the seal of divine inheritance. It is the token of generational restoration. It is the signet of reversal. And because of that, everything that could delay you, distract you, or discourage you has risen like a tidal wave to meet this moment. But do not fear the flood. For Michael, the Archangel of the Most High, is already fighting for you. Sword drawn, wings wide, fire at his heels. He does not battle for the unassigned. He wars for the marked. You are not being attacked because you are weak. You are being attacked because you are worthy. Worthy of the assignment. Worthy of the mantle. Worthy of the inheritance written in golden ink. Every voice that tried to curse you was a response to the crown heaven placed on your name when you were still in your mother's womb. Every betrayal you've endured was the enemy's desperate attempt to abort the season you are now stepping into. Even now, some of you have asked in the silence of your own thoughts, why does it feel like everything is coming against me right before this word came? And I tell you, it is because this check, this decree, this divine scroll was being released. The enemy saw the signature before you did. He saw your breakthrough hovering. He saw your reversal arriving. And so he tried to steal your strength in the final hour. But this I declare from the heavenly courts, it will not be stolen. It will not be lost. It will not be delayed another day. For Michael stands guard over what bears your name. His sword flashes against the schemes of every demonic contract. His presence blocks every spirit of delay, every curse of confusion, and every whisper of fear. This check is a symbol, yes, but it is also a weapon. It rebukes the devourer. It silences the accuser. It speaks louder than your doubts, louder than your losses, louder than your past. And if you hold fast in this moment, if you resist the urge to run, to doubt, to bow, then you will see what no eye has seen and receive what no hand can steal. Heaven is fighting for you. The battle is real, but so is the inheritance. And now, with sword raised high, Michael speaks, touch not what heaven has marked. Type I am covered in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 777 is now surrounding your territory. Hear now the warning that comes not from man, but from the throne of the living God. The hourglass has turned. The final grains of divine opportunity are slipping. You are no longer in a season of waiting. You are in the last seconds of decision. Heaven is not whispering anymore. Heaven is declaring. And what you do next will decide if this miracle check will remain in your hand or be returned to the vaults of glory. I speak with urgency because the courts have already spoken. The scroll has already been released. The check has already been written. And Archangel Michael stands not as a messenger, but as a witness. Witness to what you choose in this final window. Do not be mistaken. If you remain silent, the scroll will return sealed. If you stay distracted, the angel will ascend. If you wait for confirmation from people who were never authorized to approve your promise, you will forfeit what was always meant to be yours. This is the hour of holy decision. The clock is not metaphorical, it is eternal. In the realm of the Spirit, September 19 is not just a date. It is a divine deadline. The gates of this miracle portal are opened, but they will not remain open long. The angelic scroll will not hover in place forever. The heavenly check will not sit in suspension while you debate whether you are worthy. This moment was never about worthiness. It is about willingness. Michael does not hold an ordinary check. It is not printed on paper. It is etched in fire. It bears your name in gold. But if you remain in hesitation, that gold will fade into silence, and what was written for you will be rerouted. Yes, routed. Heaven does not waste resources. And if you reject what's written, another will rise who is ready. Another will say yes. Another will sign in the Spirit what you were too distracted to claim. This is not a threat. It is a divine warning. There is still time, but not much. Before the sun sets on September 19, the gate will close. Before the stars rise, the angels will return. And if your voice has not been lifted, if your obedience has not been expressed, then what was hovering over you will lift, and what was near will return far. But there is more. There is more inside this check than what your natural mind can comprehend. Do not reduce it to finances. This is about legacy. This is about generational reversal. This is about territories your bloodline was never allowed to enter, until now. This is about mantles of leadership, platforms of influence, and portals of creativity being released into your hands. Hidden inside this scroll is the blueprint of your next decade. The decisions you make before this window closes will echo into years you haven't even imagined yet. And so I say with fire, do not delay. Do not wait for another sign. This is the sign. This voice, this moment, this urgency is not hype. It is holy. If your spirit is trembling, it is not fear, it is recognition. You were born for this moment. And now, that moment is standing before you, hand extended, offering you what has already been approved in heaven. But it cannot linger. The portal will not hold. The check will not hover. The angels will not pause. Obedience must meet the opportunity, or it will expire. You are standing in the final 3 minutes of divine delivery. If you do not move, the miracle will return, and the silence that follows will be deafening. You must act. Heaven is watching. Type "I will not miss IT" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 888 has now opened over your atmosphere. Be still now. Stillness is not weakness, it is warfare. Silence is not surrender, it is your sword. For in this hour, what heaven is doing cannot be accessed through noise, striving, or performance. It can only be accessed through posture. The check with your name on it is not being handed to those who hustle. It is being handed to those who know how to stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. You must resist the temptation to panic. The enemy would love nothing more than to pull you into a storm of distraction right now. He knows the power of a focused spirit. He knows that if you can remain in silence, remain in stillness, remain in spiritual readiness, the divine check will land in your hand, and nothing will be able to stop it. That's why the warfare has increased. That's why every device has started buzzing. That's why every anxious thought has tried to stir up your mind. But hear me, heaven fights when you rest. God moves when you wait. The angels are dispatched not through chaos, but through calm. You are not being asked to fight this battle. It's already being fought. You are not being told to run or chase. You are being commanded to position yourself. This is holy alignment. This is spiritual targeting. Stillness is how you become traceable in the spirit. Stillness is how the angels locate you. Obedience is how the check is delivered. There are some things in your life that will only be released when you refuse to react. Some miracles require restraint. Some breakthroughs are attracted to the ones who are not led by emotion but by divine instruction. That is why Michael is not looking for movement. He's looking for posture. He is scanning the earth for the few who will not scroll past their moment, who will not let their emotions override their anointing, who will not be baited into battles that are beneath their calling. You must protect your atmosphere now. Guard it like the gate that it is. Because the check you are about to receive carries more than wealth. It carries weight. And weight must be protected. Not everyone around you can see the glory that is hovering over your name. Not everyone will understand your silence. They may call you distant. They may say you're different. Let them. Because they cannot comprehend the transaction that is taking place in the spirit while you are still. While others are talking, you are receiving. While others are rushing, you are aligning. While others are trying to make things happen in their own strength, you are letting heaven do what only heaven can do. There are angels right now standing guard over what belongs to you. There are swords drawn in realms you cannot see. Michael has not left. He is not pacing. He is stationed. And he will not move until the check is either delivered or returned. But the instruction is clear. Remain in stillness. Remain in obedience. Remain in watchfulness. Do not break your posture. Do not sabotage your moment. Do not let restlessness rob you of release. Nothing, and I mean nothing, can steal what has been sealed with your name in heaven. No demon, no delay, no decision made by others can override the seal of the King. Your only assignment now is this: remain ready. Heaven is watching for those whose spirit says, I'm still here. I'm still listening. I'm still waiting. Because to the one who waits in faith, everything is already moving in your favor. Type I am still and ready in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 2020 has now covered your name with divine fire. Now rise. Not with your feet, but with your spirit. Rise from the ashes of delay. Rise from the whispers of insignificance. Rise from every label that was placed on you by voices that never knew your value. Because this is the moment heaven shifts your identity from overlooked to ordained. You are not who they thought you were. You are not who your failure says you are. You are not who the delay tried to convince you you'd become. You are not the version of yourself that fear sculpted in the shadows. You are heaven-marked. You are fire-born. You are scroll-sealed. And the check that Michael holds in his hand was never written in doubt, it was written in certainty. Because heaven always knew you would rise in time. This moment is not about pity, it is about power. The check was not created to save you, it was released to reveal you. What you walked through has not weakened you, it has prepared you. Every door that slammed shut, every tear that hit the pillow, every time you had to encourage yourself when no one else would, those were your training grounds. They were the divine furnace that formed your resilience. And now, just like gold refined 7 times, Your spirit is pure, your resolve is sharpened, and your posture is unshakable. Archangel Michael is not bringing you charity. He is bringing you inheritance. Because what's coming to you isn't something you have to beg for, it's something you were born for. The check is the signature of your spiritual elevation. The delivery is not a gift, it's a transfer. Heaven is shifting wealth, influence, territory, and authority, and it is placing it into the hands of those who have endured the fire and did not bow. You are one of them. Stretch your wings. Feel them again. Not physical wings, but spiritual ones. Wings that were hidden under heaviness but never lost. Wings that were clipped by betrayal but not broken. Wings that are now regaining strength, feather by feather, promise by promise. As the scroll is unfolded and the blessing is made visible, you are not the caged bird they expected to see. You are the eagle they never saw coming. The fire was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to ignite you. That is why even in your lowest place, something inside of you refused to die. That was heaven keeping your spirit alive for this exact moment. That was the breath of God breathing resurrection into your dry bones. And now, you are rising. Not just from struggle, but into stature. Not just from poverty, but into power. Not just from obscurity, but into divine authority. You are not just receiving a check. You are stepping into a divine office. You are receiving an elevation that money cannot buy and men cannot block. What's coming upon you is not just wealth, it is weight. You will speak and atmospheres will shift. You will move and doors will open. You will declare and heaven will echo. You are no longer a bystander in the spirit. You are a carrier of heaven's scroll. So stand tall now, not with arrogance but with assurance. Because this was never about if God would bless you, it was about when He would unveil you. The wait is over. The silence is breaking. The scroll is opening. And your name is still written on it in gold, in oil, and in fire. Type "I'm rising" in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 444 has now been activated in your atmosphere. Now hear this prophetic unveiling, for the veil is lifting and the mystery is being made known. This check, this heavenly document held in the radiant grip of Archangel Michael, is more than a release. It is a revelation. It is not simply a financial miracle. It is the evidence of a divine wealth transfer. Not just wealth in currency, but wealth in access. Wealth in favor. Wealth in opportunities. Wealth in dominion. And it hath been stored in the vaults of heaven for such a time as this, for you. This check is not symbolic. It is prophetic. It is a tangible sign in the spirit that the storehouses of heaven are now open, that what was delayed hath been released, that the angels have been dispatched with full authority to carry inheritance to the ones who remain faithful in the wilderness. It is the Father's proof that you are no longer waiting for provision. You are now standing under the portal of overflow. September 19 is not just a date, it is a gate. A divine appointment stamped in eternity before the foundation of the world. It is the culmination of silent battles you fought when no one else saw. It is the response to the midnight prayers you whispered when your heart was breaking but your faith refused to die. It is the reward for the yes you kept saying even when every door said no. September 19 is heaven's green light for your next dimension. And yes, your name, your actual name, is written in golden ink in heaven's treasury. Not type, not scribbled, but engraved with precision. Heaven did not make a general announcement. This is a targeted release. A miracle with your name on it, sent by divine courier, held by the chief angel of war and breakthrough himself. Michael does not carry small things. When he moves, realms shift. When he appears, heaven is confirming something mighty, and this time, it's confirming you. The check is not random. It is a direct response to your endurance, a reflection of your obedience, a reward for your restraint, and a seal of your readiness. Every test, every tear, every season of silence has been weighed in the scales of heaven, and the verdict has been rendered. You are ready. The enemy thought you would give up before the gate opened. He thought the warfare would weigh you down, but instead, it refined you. He thought the delay would kill your faith, but instead it deepened it. He thought the silence would confuse you, but instead, it tuned your ear to the voice of God. And now, because you did not faint, the reward is being delivered. This check, this moment, is the unlocking of resources that were always yours but were held until the fullness of time. And that time has come. This is the hour where scrolls open and mantles descend. This is the moment when the oil flows and your name is remembered in the courts of glory. There is no mistake. There is no accident. You are not hearing this by chance. You were called. You were chosen. You were preserved for this revelation. And now, what was concealed is being revealed. The battle was not punishment. It was preparation. The silence was not absence. It was strategy. And now the treasury of heaven is open and your name is echoing within its chambers. Type I receive this revelation in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 3030 is now live over your destiny. This message is more than a video. It is a divine broadcast into hearts that heaven has marked. If you feel this word vibrating in your spirit, that's not emotion, that's confirmation. And when you sow into a word like this, you aren't giving to a platform. You're igniting destiny, funding the release of divine scrolls into homes around the world. Every super thanks, membership, or PayPal gift in the description below is a kingdom act, a holy alignment with the message of wealth transfer and prophetic release. God says in Isaiah 60:11, "Your gates will always stand open so that men may bring you the wealth of the nations." That gate is open right now. You are being invited to step into the flow, not just to receive, but to become a vessel of this prophetic movement. Your giving is not forgotten. It is recorded. It breaks chains. It waters ground. It moves angels. And it multiplies in ways no bank statement can capture. Move now. So now, heaven is watching your obedience. You heard the call. You felt the fire. Now it is time to move. Not physically, but spiritually. With your voice, your agreement, your activation. Heaven is not only watching, heaven is waiting. Waiting for your yes. Waiting for your alignment. Waiting for your signature in the Spirit to authorize what has already been written with your name in heaven's treasury. The check is ready. The angel is standing. The gate is open. But nothing moves until you speak. Nothing releases until you agree. This is the moment where destiny demands your agreement. Not your perfection. Not your performance. But your alignment. In the realm of the Spirit, Every divine scroll waits for a response, not from the crowd, but from the called. And you are that called one. You are not watching this by accident. You are not hearing these words by mistake. This moment was set in motion before your first breath. The check was authored before your first failure. And now the voice of heaven is asking one thing. Will you say yes? Your yes is not just a word. It is a key. It unlocks the vaults. It authorizes the angels. It sets into motion a chain reaction in the spirit that will reach into rooms you haven't entered, places you haven't imagined, and dimensions you thought were reserved for others. But this moment is not about others. It's about you. Your name. Your scroll. Your inheritance. The angels are holding it. The courts are confirming it. But heaven will not force what requires faith. This is not the time to be passive. This is the moment where you speak aloud what your spirit has already received. Heaven has issued the check, but your agreement is the signature that releases it into the natural realm. Declare it now. Speak it now. Say with boldness, I receive. I agree. I align. Because what you speak in this hour will shape what you step into in the next one. Don't wait for another sign. This is the sign. Don't wait for another confirmation. This is the confirmation. What God is doing now is accelerated. What would have taken years will happen in days. What was blood will be bulldozed. What was hidden will be handed to you in public. But only if you activate. Only if you step into the moment with your mouth and your mind in agreement. This is not the season to beg. This is the season to be bold. You are not petitioning heaven for leftovers. You are standing in the courts as an heir to divine wealth, an heir to prophetic release, an heir to a mantle of influence and favor that your bloodline has never carried before. That check represents a new chapter, but your voice is the pen that begins to write it. You don't have to see the full path. You only need to take the first step. Speak it. Decree it. Announce to every realm, seen and unseen, that you are in agreement with heaven's scroll, that you will not miss your moment, that you will not be silent, that you will not bow to fear, doubt, or delay any longer. Heaven is not passive in this moment. It is pressing you in. Angels are positioned. The oil is flowing. The wealth is shifting. And all of it is waiting for your voice to say one word, yes. So declare it now. Declare it boldly. Declare it with the force of someone who knows the weight of what's at stake. Because when you say yes, the heavens respond. Type ISAYYES to Destiny in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 555 is now breaking open every locked door before you. While you slept, heaven worked. While you wept, angels moved. While you questioned if anything was changing, Archangel Michael stood at the altar of divine transactions and began orchestrating what your eyes could not yet see. Let this truth shake you. Heaven was never silent. It was working in secret. Behind every delay, under every no, and in the silence between every prayer, there was a holy exchange underway, an invisible transfer, a reallocation of wealth, a reversal of injustice. And it all had your name marked across it. You thought you were being ignored, when really you were being prepared for something too large to be rushed. You thought the stillness was a punishment, when it was actually a strategic holding pattern, a place where angels negotiated for you in realms you could not enter. And now, what was once withheld is being rerouted into your life. The check Archangel Michael holds was not authored today. It was sealed today. It has passed through layers of resistance, through atmospheres of warfare, through demonic checkpoints that tried to intercept it and failed. Because what is sealed in the throne room cannot be seized by darkness. Your portion has been protected by flame, guarded by angelic decree, and now it hovers waiting for your spirit to receive what has already been approved. You don't realize this yet, but your tears were receipts. Every cry, every intercession, every breathless moment of God was a confirmation in the courts that you had not abandoned your faith. And while people saw your weakness, heaven documented your strength. Angels collected your tears in golden bowls, and those bowls were poured out as an offering, exchanged for the miracle that now approaches your atmosphere. Even your restlessness in this season hath been prophetic. That stirring you felt, at unease, that constant inner fire that won't let you settle. That wasn't frustration, that was your spirit sensing the check. Long before your mind could comprehend it, your spirit knew something was near. And it is. It's here. It's now. You have not lost anything. I need you to hear this again. You have not lost anything. Everything that seemed delayed, denied, broken, or stolen was simply being rerouted through divine systems of justice. The check was never canceled. It was protected. The scroll was never torn. It was hidden until the right moment. And now, this moment is roaring before you like a lion, and nothing can stop the delivery. What God is releasing to you is more than wealth. It is restoration. It is the reclamation of years. It is back pay for silent service. It is reward for unseen obedience. And the delivery is not public. It is personal. While others have broadcasted their wins, yours has been stored for this holy unveiling. And here's what the enemy didn't count on, that you would still be here. That after everything, you'd still be listening. That after every attack, you'd still be aligned. That after all the betrayal, you'd still believe. What you did, you do. And that has positioned you for the silent exchange of a lifetime. Right now, in the realm of the spirit, heaven is finalizing paperwork. Debts are being erased. Wealth is being reassigned. Territories are being unlocked. Divine ideas, promotions, inheritances, and unexpected doors are now moving toward your life at the speed of faith. You didn't miss your moment. You were being hidden for it. Type the exchange's mine in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 6262 has now sealed your spiritual transaction. Let this be known in the courts of the earth and shouted in the chambers of the spirit. Justice is being served. Not by human systems. Not by the opinions of those who misjudged you. But by the King of Kings himself. The righteous judge whose scales never tip unjustly. Whose decrees never fall to the ground void. The hour of divine reversal has come. And the check held by Archangel Michael is proof that the verdict hath been rendered in your favor. You were overlooked by people, but not by God. You were rejected by circles that could not carry the weight of your calling. You were silenced by voices that could not discern your value. But now, the one who sits on the throne is answering with power. He has ruled in your favor. The scales have tipped. The sentence has been overturned. and what was taken shall now be returned, with interest. The divine check is not just wealth, it is compensation. It is repayment for nights you couldn't sleep. It is heaven's response to the years you were hidden, the seasons you sowed in silence, and the moments you obeyed when it would have been easier to give up. What they mocked, God is magnifying. What they dismissed, God is delivering. The same ones who watched you walk through fire will now watch you walk into overflow. This reversal is not subtle. It is supernatural. It is loud in the spirit. It is public in the heavens. And it will be undeniable on the earth. This is the moment where the last become first, where the borrower becomes the lender, where the weeping turns into dancing, where the stone the builders rejected becomes the cornerstone. The divine check is not a promise of potential, it is the activation of reversal. This is justice for every closed door, for every lost opportunity, for every time your heart broke and you still chose to love. This is justice for the relationships that used you, the friendships that betrayed you, and the seasons that seemed to bury you. The devil thought he buried you, but God planted you. And now, your roots have gone deep. Your spirit has grown strong, and your harvest is undeniable. I declare to you now, by the authority of heaven, that no power in hell can reverse the reversal. What hath been stamped in the blood of the Lamb cannot be contested. This check was issued in glory, signed in gold, and sealed with fire. What is being given to you is not temporary. It is not fragile. It is not subject to cancellation. It is heaven's answer to every accusation, every delay, every lie spoken against your destiny. Let this be the hour where tables turn. Let this be the hour where names are restored. Let this be the hour where shame is swallowed up in glory. Because the weight of what is coming to you is not just for you. It is generational. This reversal will reach into your bloodline. It will heal what your parents endured. It will bless what your children have yet to walk into. Because justice always travels through lineage. What was once denied will now be delivered. What was once blocked will now be blasted open. What was once stolen will now be returned sevenfold. The throne has spoken. The angels are moving. And the reversal has begun. Type "Justice is mine" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 8181 is releasing restoration into every area of your life. And now we have come to the edge of the divine countdown. The final seconds of this prophetic moment stand before you like the closing gate of heaven's treasury. September 19 is not just another date on a man-made calendar. It is a heavenly deadline, a prophetic portal carved into the eternal clock of the Almighty. And as the final grains of this divine hour fall, Archangel Michael still stands, sword in hand, wings extended, check sealed and waiting, with your name inscribed in gold. Heaven did not forget you. Heaven did not pass you over. Heaven was preparing you. And now, what was once prophesied is becoming delivered. The check is not theory. It is not hope. It is the physical evidence of a spiritual truth that you are seen, that you are chosen, that you are destined for overflow beyond imagination. But I must say this one last time with holy fire: the check will not hover forever. The scroll will not remain open indefinitely. The angels are moving, and the courts are closing. If your voice has responded, if your heart has aligned, if your spirit has said yes, then the miracle is already en route. Signed, sealed, and delivered into your spiritual account. But if you wait, if you waver, if you dismiss this moment as common, while heaven has declared it holy, then the check will return. The window will close. The opportunity will lift. And what was yours will remain unclaimed, not because God withheld it, but because you did not move. Let this be your moment. Let this be the hour where your past is overruled by the decree of heaven. Let this be the day where delay is destroyed and destiny is delivered. For you are not ordinary. You are not forsaken. You are not forgotten. You are a name on heaven's payroll, a name etched into a check written by the hand of God and carried by the commander of his army, Michael, the Archangel. And now I release this final blessing upon you. May you walk in divine stillness that shields your miracle. May your eyes remain open, your heart remain soft, and your spirit remain ready. May no demon, delay, or distraction rob you of what God has ordained. May the check you've waited for manifest in ways that shock every watching eye. May the next season of your life be saturated with heaven's wealth, wisdom, and wonder. And may you remember always, you are sealed, signed, and delivered by the throne itself. You are seen. You are chosen. You are marked for divine wealth. Rise into your destiny now. Type "I am sealed for destiny" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 9191 is now locking in your release as the gates of September 19 close. As this scroll closes and the sound of heaven settles over your soul, if this word stirred something deep within you, don't let it stop there. Your agreement with the message can be sealed through partnership, not with man, but with heaven's assignment on this channel. Every time you give, you are not tipping a creator. You are sowing into the prophetic frequency that brings alignment, revelation, and salvation to people all around the world. The same way Archangel Michael carries a scroll, you can carry the weight of this mission by supporting through Super Thanks, YouTube membership, or the PayPal link in the video description. Every seed is sacred. Every act of generosity is a spiritual statement. I'm not just receiving this word, I'm standing with it. Heaven honors those who fund the flame. Luke 6:38 says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." That promise is not poetic. It's prophetic. And right now, it's personal. So act. To support. Because your giving in this moment will echo into eternity.